Swiss parliament approves same-sex marriage.
Here's a summary of the article.
Switzerland's parliament approved a bill Friday allowing same-sex couples to marry, finally bringing the small Alpine nation into line with much of Europe on gay rights. The Swiss themselves will have the final say on the matter, as the Christian, ultra-conservative Federal Democratic Union Party has announced that it will ask for the legislation to be put to a referendum. Switzerland is one of few European countries where same-sex marriage is not legal. The country allows same-sex couples to enter into registered partnerships, but this does not provide the same rights as marriage, including for obtaining citizenship and the joint adoption of children. The two chambers of parliament have now approved the bill after multiple rounds of debate since 2013. The wording of the bill allows gays and lesbians to marry and for lesbians to access sperm donations. This is a historic victory for the rights of the LGBTI community, Amnesty Switzerland wrote in a tweet.
This post received a score of 10,000, with an upvote ratio of 95%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
What? Just now? 30 years after the federal decision that women have to be allowed to vote.
Swiss-wide it was in 1971. There were only a few exceptions for local elections. But currently it has one of the highest women in politics of Western countries. Also it had very early on a female president. Not that it means much.
We have 7 ministers acting, together, as one prime minister. We don't really have presidents in Switzerland, it's just a one-year rotating honorary title among the 7 ministers to help confused foreign governments. But that title gives no power whatsoever.
That's why I said. Not that it means much. P.
How many other Western developed nations haven't legalized it yet? Here's a map. Switzerland being this late is quite typical. It granted women the right to vote in all cantons in the 1990s.
Greater than it granted women the right to vote in all cantons in the 1990s. The final holdout was the smallest canton with just 14,000 inhabitants at the time though. The first one to adopt it was in 1959, and by 1972 all but 2 of the cantons had adopted it locally. And federally it was adopted in 1972 as well. Still, as you said, that's pretty late compared to the rest of Europe, most of whom introduced it around 1917 to 1920. And then a few more around 1925 to 1930, and then France in 1944. WTF France?
France in 1944. Was that Vichy France or in the few months after Western Europe was liberated?
Switzerland marches boldly into the Haute Millennium.
Wouldn't the Haute Millennium be 1 to 999? The Haute decade per year of this millennium? I am not sure though, I don't really use Haute that much. I ought to use Haute more. Hey, I crack myself up.
Aughts then.
Haute standalone would work as its slang for the 2000s.
Meanwhile, Hungary just added it to the constitution that a man and a woman are the basis of a family and can adopt children. WTF.
A marriage can be either one man and one woman, or 25 men and no women. Nothing in between.
And the drugs in my bag weren't mine.
That's great news. With everything going on in the world, I gotta hold on to the belief that it's 2 steps for and 1 back instead of the other way around.
All of you commenting in shock, Europe is seen as this great place by Americans for some reason. IDK if it's BC of the media or just interest in a distant land. But a lot of these countries suffer from many social justice issues. Racism being a big one.
I blame the media. Look at this European appliance design. This construction material is used in Europe. Like it's some future world where the rest of the world is catching up. Europe is a bunch of different countries, some are ahead and some are behind.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.